We are starting early today, very early, about 7 minutes early.
Can't do that now. It's 5 minutes before meeting time.
Okay. Welcome to the Rotary Club of... Thank you.
There we go.
There we go. Welcome to the Rotary Club of Livermore. Thank you all for being here today. Thank you for all you do for our club and our community with Near End 5. Dennis O'Brien, please lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Rotarians, join me.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Songsters.
So, this is the most wonderful time of the year, this is the most wonderful time of the year, but in a lot of respects, it's the most chaotic time of the year. So this is a new spin on a Christmas classic. So make Andy Williams proud, will you? Yes. Yes, I do. Thank you.
It's the most chaotic time of the year. Friends and relatives gathered and everyone blabbering, be of good cheer. It's the most chaotic time of the year. It's the wackiest season of all. Are tight and I think that I just might be hitting a wall. It's the wackiest season of all. There'll be high expectations from all our relations to make this a glorious time. I don't think I can do it, but I will get through it with all of that Livermore wine. The most chaotic time of the year. So I'm thankful for Wednesday and all of my Rotary friends who are here. It's the most chaotic time. Yes, the most chaotic time. It's the most chaotic time of the
Stepping on your boombox. Don't step on my boombox.
songsters who never cease to surprise and enchant. So, thought for the day, Lynn Freeman is coming her way. Lynn. Let's see if this mic works for you.
I hope so. For a number of years, my family and I lived in New Jersey. My husband was working at Bell Labs, and as the only part of the family who was that far on the other side of the country, we were often visited by friends and relatives, and I got pretty good at leading the Cook's tour of New York City. One of my favorite parts of that tour was the Brooklyn Bridge. It spans the East River and connects Brooklyn to Manhattan. Back in the 1860s, it was constructed, led by a father and his son, John Roebling and his son Washington. It was said that it couldn't be done, but they had a plan and they set to it. They started construction, and at some point, the father was injured in an accident on site. His foot was crushed, and then he developed tetanus and he died. The son continued, but he also was in an accident. At that time, he was down at the bottom of the East River in a caisson. It's like an upside down glass, and it's filled with air, and you can work in that confined environment. Well, he stayed down a long while working, and they brought him up too fast, and he developed the bends, which they didn't know about then, decompression sickness. He was paralyzed, and but part of his brain was working really well. He could not speak, but the only thing he could move was his finger. He learned to tap, tap, tap messages on his wife's arm, and she learned the code. People said they would have to just quit building the bridge. It just was never going to happen, but he tapped away. The workers came to him daily, and he gave them instructions, tap, 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 and the bridge was built. And it's a marvel of engineering, done mostly by one guy whose only way to interact with the world was with a finger.
Wow.
Pretty inspiring.
It was very inspiring. Meeting front line for today, Trudy Barnes. I saw Trudy, there she is. Spur reporter, Trudy. Spur publisher, Kathy Coyle. Thank you, Kathy. Photographer, Don Wintz. Audiovisual, A.V. Joel Swanson and a few others. And greeter, Irv Stowers, covering a multitude of tasks. Thank you. Next up, even more frontliners. Our Sergeant at Arms today are not Debbie Keith, but Glenn and David. Thank you, David Ross. Well, Maestra, Kathy Coyle. Public outreach, Kelly Bowers, who always reaches out in the community on our behalf. And videographer Tim Berry, sitting right over here doing the video.
That's right.
Thank you, Tim.
Everybody smile.
Next up, announcements.
Introduction.
There we go. You got two.
Good. Introduction of visiting Rotarians and guests. We have some wonderful visiting Rotarians today. Do you have a mic there?
Santa, President Santa. You're supposed to laugh. President Santa.
Oh, President Santa.
You're supposed to laugh. President Pat and fellow Rotarians and guests, I am pleased to introduce two visiting Rotarians. Richard Flanders is past district governor and a member of Pleasanton North. Are you going to stand up, Richard? And he is going to introduce our speaker for today, but please welcome Richard Flanders. And I'm going to make a very short introduction of our visiting Rotarian, Martin Mandelberg. He is past president of Evergreen West, East in our district, and past president of Annandale, Virginia Club. Correct? Get that right?
Okay, only president of one club.
Oh,
My wife
okay.
said that's enough.
Oh, so he is only a member of the Annandale Club. Yeah, he's on the board. Okay, please welcome our guest speaker today, Martin Mandelberg.
Guests of Rotarians.
President Pat, fellow Rotarian, I would like to introduce my daughter that is visiting from Israel for 3 weeks in California, in Bar.
It's my pleasure to introduce my friend Monica Kuhlander, which I know a lot of you know already, a retired teacher.
Welcome, Monica.
And I'm pleased to introduce Rob Vavuris. Many of the members may remember Rob from the times that he came with Ron Koopman, his caregiver. And Rob has just a very quick offer that he'd like to make.
Hi, I'm a caregiver and an LVN, and if anybody here needs any of that type of help, let me know, and I have a number I can give you, and you can talk to my boss. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you, Rob.
Hello everybody, I'm Roxana Mohammed, principal at Livermore High School. I have with me Mr. David Martinez. He is a vice principal at Livermore High School, and he was really interested in what goes on at these meetings, and I told him it's a whole lot of fun. And so he said he wanted to come along. So David Martinez.
Welcome, David.
I have a guest here somewhere now, Jovan Thomas. She's the manager for the Vineyard 2 building on North Livermore Avenue, which you may know better as the home of Open Heart Kitchen. And she's the one we delivered. Last week we had a call for clothing for elderly folks, keep them warm in the wintertime. There's one more bag over there that came in, but there was a total of 16 bags of clothing that were delivered to her.
Thank you for keeping our community members warm. Thank you, Jovan.
And on behalf of everyone at the Refuge and the Unhoused Resource Center, we would like to thank everybody that who was able to contribute to the clothing drive that we put together. Thank you all.
Thank you.
That's it. All right.
For those of you who have been here more than 1 year, I always try and get my best side, but they haven't found it yet. You'll remember that this is the meeting where we elect our officers for the coming year. And the constitution of our club, our bylaws, essentially tell us how to do that. And so what happens is the past presidents meet, and they are a collection of some of the most brilliant people you ever meet. They'll tell you so repeatedly, especially if you are the newest member of that club. And they essentially evaluate all of the possibilities. And they come up with a slate of officers, okay? And so the slate we're electing for president would be president in 2027-28, and that's Stu Frazier, that the past presidents have nominated. Now, there are two other named positions between all the presidents. There's the secretary and the treasurer, and both serve 2-year terms. but essentially it's this year that we elect Alan. Alan is currently serving that position, but he filled out the second year of the second term of the previous treasurer's term. So it's time to elect Alan, and the good news for that is he's already doing the job. So I'd say, go with a proven winner on that one. We have 3 at-large elected directors, Linda, Paul, and David, who you will be asked to elect here. Now, under the bylaws, I am required to ask if there are nominations from the floor. And if there are nominations from the floor, we're actually going to take a little break and we'll actually create ballots. Because that will mean we have more people than we have positions. And we'll actually have an election. So I'm going to ask at this point, are there any nominations for any of these positions from the floor? Seeing none, I will ask the club to acclaim, essentially by acclamation, so raising a hand, that you are accepting the slate of officers that the esteemed past presidents have put before the club. So all those in favor? Aye. Well done. All right. Anybody opposed to that? Because that's technically not an acclamation. All right, very good. We have a new slate of officers. Congratulations to all of the winners. So, we currently have a president, we currently have a past president, we currently have a president-elect, and now we have a president nominee, which is another weird word that nobody knows what to do with. And of course, Stu will become the president-elect on July 1st, as we all wrote to, and everyone else will begin their term on July 1st. Thank you all, and congratulations to all of us who have incredible leadership both this year and next. So yay!
Student of the month, so let's see, we have, thank you, Bill.
It is my pleasure to bring to us 3 students for the month of December. They all come from Livermore High School, and here to introduce them and speak to you about them is the principal of Livermore High School, Roxana Mohammed.
Hello, everybody. So I'm going to ask Greta to come on up. I don't know if you got a good smile, though. All right, so I'm going to say a few words about Greta. I'm going to embarrass you up here a little bit, okay? All right, Greta is the kind of student who reminds us what is possible when talent, compassion, and determination come together. With a 4.2 GPA, she has earned principal honor roll every semester of all 4 years, a testament to her work ethic and intellectual curiosity. She challenges herself with AP courses, participates in the Green Engineering Academy, and continues to push her learning through college courses at Las Positas and Chabot Las Positas College. But academics are just one piece of Greta's extraordinary story. In the arts, she has lit up the stage in productions such as Mamma Mia, Hadestown, Teen Edition, and the 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee. She performs locally as the lead singer in a student band and plays in the first violin section of the LHS String Orchestra. Whether she is singing, so she can join you guys up here once in a while, acting or playing violin, Greta brings energy and joy to every audience she reaches. In her service to our school, Greta's influence is profound. She is the president of the Wellness Center Club, a culture keeper in the Wellness Center, a member of our PBIS, which is our Positive Behavior Intervention and Support program, and a student who consistently steps up to make Livermore High a more connected, inclusive, and supportive place. Her leadership is helping shape Livermore High School into a gold standard school for student wellness and positive climate. I don't know if you all saw the article in the Independent about Livermore High. If you haven't, check it out. It was a couple weeks ago. Okay. Beyond campus, Greta is equally impressive. As chair of the Livermore Youth Council, she collaborates with city leadership to create meaningful opportunities for young people. She helps launch the annual Youth Mental Health Fair, Livermore's Got Talent, the World's Fair, and other hallmark community events that have brought thousands of youth and families together. Greta's heart for service runs deep. As a 24-hour race team leader, she has raised, over here this amount you guys, $10,000 to fight human trafficking, collecting recyclable bottles. And she's done this by collecting recyclable bottles and cans every week to support the cause. She volunteers weekly at Open Heart Kitchen, serves as a Girl Scout camp counselor, and provides social media support for local advocacy groups such as Livermore Pride and Livermore Advocates for Public Education. In every role, Greta leads with empathy, creativity, and conviction. She is the definition of Rotary's value of service above self. Greta plans to study political science and is considering universities such as UCLA, UC Berkeley, UC Davis, UC Irvine, and Georgetown. With her unique blend of civic engagement, artistic talent, and community advocacy, she will undoubtedly stand out wherever she goes. Please join me in congratulating our student, Greta.
I wanted to thank you all so much for this award and this opportunity. I try my best to do what I can for my community and help those in need, and I really appreciate you for going out of your way and recognizing students for doing that. So thank you so much. And I wanted to introduce my two moms, Beverly and Ann. Thank you so much.
You want the sign? Sign. Oh, yeah. Where's the sign, Bill?
Right behind you.
Where's the sign, Bill?
Nice.
That's for you to put on your yard. All right, so Anderson, come on up. So Anderson is the textbook definition of academic excellence. He holds a 1530 SAT score, a 4.0 unweighted GPA, a 4.9 weighted GPA, and ranks in the top decile of his class. He has taken 21 honor courses and an extraordinary lineup of AP classes, earning scores of 5 on 8 AP exams, including AP Calc, AP Calc, AP Chem, AP Bio, AP Stats, AP English Language, AP US History, AP Human Geography, and AP World History. Can you guys believe? That's huge. Whoa. His intellectual curiosity doesn't stop at the high school level. Anderson is currently taking multivariable calculus at Las Positas College and completing a chemistry independent study program at Cal State East Bay, all while maintaining flawless academic performance. His favorite subjects, physics, chemistry, and calculus, show exactly where his passion lies, applying deep scientific understanding and mathematics to solve real-world challenges. But what truly sets Anderson apart is the way he puts his knowledge into action. At school, Anderson is a transformative leader. As the Science Olympiad team captain, he has expanded the program from 15 to 45 students, which is about a 300% increase, right? He has coordinated tournaments, built study resources exceeding 500 pages, ran weekly practices, coached multiple events, and even secured funding through a competitive grant. The team's growth and success are a direct reflection of his tireless dedication, organization, and infectious love of science. He is also the founder of and president of the Current Events Club, creating a space where students can discuss world issues, build civic awareness, and engage in meaningful dialogue. Under his leadership, the club has partnered with other schools, produced student documentaries, coordinated community drives, hosted speakers, and led educational outreach on topics like climate change. There's a lot here, okay? There's a lot. He doesn't want me to go through it all. Okay, outside of school, Anderson is deeply involved in scientific research and community service. He has conducted biotech research, publishing genetic sequences in the NCBI database as a sophomore. Today, he is pursuing biochem research at CSU East Bay, studying the chemistry of western poison oak under the mentorship of Professor Maureen Scharberg, with the goal of publishing an independent research paper. As a senior intern at the Quest Science Center, Anderson helped map urban heat islands, presented research at international conferences, drafted policy recommendations, and successfully supported climate-related initiatives that influence local legislation. He works with the Climate Literacy Task Force for our district and has helped integrate climate integration across grade levels, ensuring science remains connected to student voice and future needs. Anderson plans to major in chemical engineering, surprise, surprise, with hopes of attending one of the UC campuses, such as UCLA or UC Berkeley, and using his talents to contribute to real scientific and societal changes. Ladies and gentlemen, Anderson Schor.
Okay, hi everyone. Again, I'm Anderson. I am very grateful to be chosen. This community is super great, and I just want to give a shout out to my dad, my mom, and my grandfather all the way in the back. Yeah, again, thank you. I'm honored to get this award, and I'm so thankful for everyone here.
Oh yeah, it goes in your lawn, on your lawn.
All right, I'm going to call Julie on up. Julie is a student whose commitment to science, human performance, and community health positions her as an emerging leader in kinesiology and sports medicine. Julie's academic trajectory reflects both rigor and purpose. In addition to excelling in AP Bio and AP Chem, she has immersed herself in coursework focused on the structure and function of the human body. Her most transformative academic experiences have come through sports medicine, athletic training 1 and 2, courses where she explored human anatomy, physiology, injury mechanisms, rehabilitation science, and the biomechanics that drive athletic performance. These courses allow Julie to apply scientific concepts in real-world context, analyzing skeletal injuries. I couldn't say the whole word, it's a really hard word. But anyway, understanding tissue healing timelines and studying the principles of proprioception. Did I say that right? Okay. Movement efficiency and injury prevention. Julie has taken significant steps towards functioning as a pre-professional in the field. She has accumulated hands-on experience working with the Livermore High School athletic trainer, where she has observed and participated in real-time evaluations of sports injuries, treatment protocols, taping and bracing techniques, and preventative care strategies. This level of clinical exposure is rare at the high school and underscores her initiative, discipline, and scientific curiosity. Her experience extends into the medical community, where her internship at Stanford Medical Tri-Valley, where she assists in a physical therapy clinic. There, she learns about therapeutic modalities, neuromuscular re-education, gait and movement analysis, rehabilitation progression, and collaborative patient-centered care. These experiences have given her an advanced understanding of human physiology, movement science, and evidence-based therapeutic practice, well ahead of most students entering undergraduate programs. Julie's dedication to science extends beyond human health and into the environmental well-being. As president of the Environmental Action Club, she applies systems thinking and data-driven analysis to issues of sustainability, biodiversity, and environmental health. Under her leadership, the club received the Innovation Tri-Valley 2040 Visionary Award for Vibrant Placemaking, recognizing its impactful work in improving ecological resilience and promoting community wellness. Julie understands that environmental health and human health are deeply interconnected, and her leadership reflects the holistic scientific perspective. Julie's next step is Sacramento State, where she plans to major in kinesiology. With her strong foundation in the biological sciences, her authentic passion for sports medicine, and her extensive early clinical experience, Julie is already on a clear and compelling trajectory toward becoming an athletic trainer who will bring evidence-based care, deep scientific knowledge, and compassion to the athletes and communities she will one day serve. So ladies and gentlemen, Julie Johnson.
I would just like to say thank you to the Rotary Club for recognizing me with this award, and I would like to say thank you to my parents, Martha and Eric, for always providing me with all the needs that I need. Thank you so much.
Oh, you wanted a good picture? Yeah, this picture that he's showing up there is me about 15 years ago. I love that he keeps it up there. I'll take it.
Thank you, Roxanne, and Students of the Month. Next up, J.R. Romero on crab feed. And I think Bob Cowan may be involved with this.
Cheers, here.
Are we on? Okay, so we just got the forms, which Sheila is showing. Those are for the donations. If you have anybody that is donating product or services for the crab feed, that is a form that they can fill out so they can get credit for it, and also they can get a tax write-off with that. Do we have the board going around? Not this time. It will be the next meeting. We'll have it going around, and it has a list of all the businesses that have donated in the past. If you recognize one and you think you have a relationship where you can get a donation from them, write your name on there. That way we don't get multiple Rotarians hitting up the same people, and you'll be responsible for contacting them to get a donation for our raffle, silent auction, and live auction. If anybody has any kind of items that they want to bring forward, they can either get them to me or anybody that's on the committee for the crab feed. You can find my contact on the list or reach me after the meeting, and I can give you my contact. And you can email me if you have something. We'll get it to the right people who will take care of it and package it up and make it real nice and pretty. So if there's any other questions on the crab feed? Yes?
Is the clipboard going around today?
It is not going around today. It will be going around at the next meeting. Anybody else? We will be having our next meeting tomorrow, 5 o'clock at Bob Cowan's house.
So as you can see on the screen here, next week's program will be Brad Roberts, a modest overview of the world security situation and what you should be worried about.
How worried should
Very cheerful information. Yes. And we are at Del Valle Winery, and Barbara Barbara Lynn Barris, sorry for the mishap on where we're going to be next week. My apologies. Next up.
Should we announce that? President?
He just said it.
Okay.
Very good.
And now for a very special introduction of our guest speaker today, past District Governor Richard Flanders will introduce our speaker, Martin Mandelberg. Richard, thank you for being here today.
Thank you, President Santa Claus. I haven't seen you with that beard. Fellow Rotarian and guests, I forgot I'm coming to Livermore and I wear a suit. And I feel like Marty and I are IRS agent auditing your club's finances. Well, our speaker was one of my club presidents when I was district governor in 2021, 2022. He resided and resides in Falls Church, Virginia, near Washington, D.C. And when he was president, he ran the meetings from his home in Virginia. He's one of the brightest people I know. He's a scientist, engineer, educator, entrepreneur, and an author. I don't know too many authors, but he's the only author I know. And he has won many awards in his industry. He has worked in the White House for the Reagan administration. And he's going to talk about a book that he wrote today. Well, he was an excellent president, a top 10 president during my year as governor. He always come to California from Virginia whenever he's needed during his year as president. What I remember most about our speaker was that when I did the official visit to his club, San Jose East Evergreen, I saw that there was a member in his club that gave $9,998.50. So he was $1.50 away from the major donor to the Rotary Foundation. So I pull up my wallet and I give the speaker $2. He said, "What is this for?" He said, "I want you to make this member a major donor." So he took that and he said he'll take care of it. 3 months later, I look at the report and he's still not a major donor yet. He's still under 10,000, which is required to be a major donor. So I call him in Virginia. I say, "Marty, I want my $2 back." He said, "Why?" I say, "Well, because you promised me that you would make this member a major donor, and the reports show that he's not a major donor." So he asked me, he said, "I'm new to Rotary. I don't know what a major donor is." So I explained to him, a major donor is someone who cumulatively gives $10,000 to the Rotary Foundation. His response was, "Richard, I will give you $10,000 and become a major donor," during his year as president. He did a great job with his club. His club gave a total, this is a club of 20 members, 21 at that time. His club gave a total of $63,475 to the Rotary Foundation that year, which is that's about $3,023 per capita for each of the member of his club. So after his presidency, he stayed in Virginia. He continued to stay active. He was involved with the Ukraine war effort. He raised $10,000 to purchase tourniquets for the war victims in Ukraine. He did this because his grandmother was born in Ukraine and she came to the Ellis Islands in 1904. And after his presidency, he wrote this book that he's going to speak about. But we have stayed friends. He called me once a month or every other month for the past 3 years. And when he wrote his book, he came to Monterey last summer, and he invited me to come to see him in Monterey because he was speaking to the Navy postgraduate school in Monterey. And he's coming today, and he also called me. So, Rick King, our past international president, always has 20 reasons why we should join Rotary. One of them is friendship. And I'm so lucky to get to be friend with this man who lives $3,000, I keep talking about money when I see it. He lives 3,000 miles away, and we have such a lasting friendship through even after our year as governor and as president of his club. Fellow Rotarans and guests, please welcome all the way from Falls Church, Virginia, Dr. Marty Mandelberg.
Thank you all. First of all, can you hear me clearly? Yes. Good. I'll put the microphone up as I'm instructed to do. Okay. Smiling picture headshot. Oops, this way. Okay. Your president invited me to come here because he was one of the earliest people to read this book, which was just published in June of 2025. After an 8-year trial and error, or I should say error and trial, in writing a biography. I'm an author. I never wrote a biography before. It was the hardest writing I've ever done. I don't advise you do it. Very simply, in a biography, you need some things that are called reveals. If you're going to read a biography of John F. Kennedy, you want some new information, not information you already have. Richard Hamming was born in 1915, died in 1998. In a moment you'll see he's an eminent mathematician, computer scientist who worked on all of the important programs and won the most important awards of his time, including the Turing Award, for those who don't know it. That's the Nobel Prize of mathematics. He won it in 1968. I have yet to be informed that I'm in line for this. I don't expect to. I'm but a mere shadow. I am Hamming's protege and only doctoral student, and I'm proud to be his biographer to talk to you today. Okay, enough about Hamming, more on Hamming, enough about me. If you want more, we can ask later. I'll leave my emails if we run out of time and you have questions, please email me. Whether you're interested in the history of mathematics and science, or how Hamming developed his insightful innovations, or his timeless lessons learned that are valuable today in Livermore, California, I hope you find this talk, and if you wish, this book, which I brought with me, for sale. Mama may have had a dim kid, but if she did, that was my brother. As in any biography should, the book describes previously unpublished information about Richard Wesley Hamming. He had three obituaries when he died in 1998. He and his wife had no children by choice, which was not unusual in the 40s and the 50s in this country for very busy people. And I, in 2017, found a letter he had written to me 1 year after I graduated from the Navy Postgraduate School in Monterey in 1983. And the letter was so moving to me, and if you buy the book, it's on page 249. Since you're going to buy the book His words were so meaningful to me, something that no doctoral advisor has ever written to a doctoral student. Hamming wrote to me. Do I have you curious? I wanted to give a tribute, and if you do a tribute, you should do it right. I thought I had a version of this book at 1.5 years, and then the reviewer said, no you don't. Not even close. So I hired a young lady from University of California, Berkeley, who had helped people do thesis and write books. And she taught me how to write. I'm an engineer, a STEM, not liberal arts. I did not know how to write for a mass audience. I would write for a single reader, a proposal, a project. I have a number of publications, but it's different when you're doing a tribute biography and you want it read by at least 500 people. There are many books that less than 10 are ever read. Regardless of whether this book is read by 500 people, by the way, I have already sold or given 185 copies of the book since June.
Okay.
Not bad. 186. I have a purchase right here today. No, I've got the money. And as a tribute, this sign numbered first edition will end on February 11th, 2026, which would be Hamming's 111th birthday. On that day, the book goes print on demand on Amazon, which will take most of the profit. All of the profit to date will go to the University of California, University of Chicago, and University of Illinois, where Hamming got his bachelor's and PhD. Endowments for students to present papers at conferences. For those of you who have been to university, you know how important it is for you to build your network and demonstrate your work and coordinate with other people. To honor Hamming, I've committed $10,000, $20 per book times 500 books, and I'll make up the difference out of my pocket. Because that's what Rotarians do. You make a commitment, you make it happen. Hamming's developed knowledge, insight, innovations, accomplishments, and left us timeless lessons. I'm going to show you some of that. Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay, I started in 2017. As I collected information, as I started this research, a professor who was Dick Hamming's best friend, Hirsch Loomis, who's still at Monterey, said, you might want to check with the library. In the year 2000, his wife sealed 7 boxes and sent it to the library. I went there, showed my credentials as a guest lecturer, and like Raiders of the Lost Ark, we opened up those 7 boxes, which had not been opened in 17 years. The contents of his personal desk at home, his desk at work, poetry he wrote to his wife, his Turing Award, photographs, wonderful drafts of his books, many of the medals he received during his life, which I'll quickly talk about. And that started me on the way. Then I went to Bell Labs in New Jersey, where he worked for 30 years, and talked with Ed Eckert, the archivist there. And we went through what Bell Labs had, and I started on the way of developing enough information to write a biography. Then I decided that this is not a book about me and Dick Hamming. I wanted additional people's remembrances. So I started a search, and I found 11 additional people who knew Hamming, in some cases back to 1958. Professor Doug McElroy, Distinguished Professor Emeritus at Dartmouth, gave me 4 pages of his remembrances. Brian Kernighan of Princeton, other people at the postgraduate school. So there is a collection of 12 of us talking about our remembrances of this wonderful man. I hope to give you a short appreciation for. So all of this I put in, I paid for an open access archive, I paid for an archivist to do a finding aid, and all of this is available if you just Google Richard Wesley Hamming Archive or Navy Postgraduate School. It's open to anyone in the world without a password or an ID. because a tribute should be, I don't know what the limit of this tribute is. Probably this planet. We're not sending it to space yet. The two endowments, and then the biography. Richard Wesley Hamming, man, mathematician, and mentor, which is what I have here to show you and talk about that. Next slide, please. Okay, Hamming was born in Chicago in 1915. He first was an engineer, because the World's Fair, he saw Tesla and Edison and all of the wonders of 1933 in the world. Coming out of the Depression, the stock market crash, both his mother and father's family had lost all their money. There was no money for college. But he went to 3 successive junior colleges until he received his associates in electrical engineering, top of his class. He wanted to get his bachelor's. There was no money for engineering scholarships in that year. But the University of Chicago says, Mr. Hamming, you're very good in math. We'll give you a free ride for your bachelor's. University of Chicago has an $11 billion endowment. Unlike California schools, where you get subsidies built into your system, these are private colleges, except the Carnegies and others endowed University of Chicago. And even today, if you're a resident of Illinois and you gain admission and you don't have the funds, they'll pay for it all. He went on to the University of Nebraska, University of Chicago, he got his bachelor's. University of Nebraska, his master's. Why did he go 500 miles away? They gave him a scholarship for his master's. And he also probably wanted to get away from mom and dad. And then University of Illinois, Urbana-Champaign. And the Illinois, Urbana people in the crowd, yay, Orange. Great football team, great college. I've lectured there in the same hall that Hamming lectured on this quest to learn more about him. He's most known for error-correcting codes. For those of you who don't know that, you couldn't communicate today, listen to a CD, or send communications around the world without error-correcting codes. Noise and static and broken parts make things unreliable. Hamming figured out how to make it reliable. Every high-speed computer, most of the computers doing signal processing, all of the AI computers use error-correcting codes based on Hamming's patent, 1950. Other findings are in the book. He was an adjunct professor at Princeton, City College of New York, Stevens. He came out for a year in 1961 to Stanford, and also UC Irvine. He loved the West Coast. In a moment, you'll find out what he did with that love. He went to Bell Labs. While at Bell Labs, he worked with the best of the best. Claude Shannon, father of information theory, and Hamming shared an office. There was magic in the air, he said. He was one of the young Turks, and they did unconventional things in unconventional ways and changed the world. He was there at the beginning of computational science, information theory, and many other fields. After retiring, he turned to his wife, Wanda, who came from Chicago also and got a master's from University of Illinois, Urbana, who was his best friend for 60 years, also his editor. Once he started writing, I've read everything Hamming has written. A good biographer should. After a year of marriage, his writing got better. It was edited. It was powerful. My wife edited what my book is, among other editors. Hamming was, he wanted to teach full-time. He wanted to write more books. He had 4 books, and he already had won the Turing Award. And so he came out to California. He asked his wife, and she said, I have a friend in Carmel, California. Dick says, I know where that is. It's down the road from when I taught at Stanford. So he approached Dr. Don Gavin, who he had known from Princeton, who was a professor at Monterey. He came out here and says, I want an interview to work here. He came out, and the dean interviewed him and said, Professor Nobel Laureate Lever, Turing Award, we would love to have you, but we can only give you a GS 10 or 11 salary, you know, Stanford will pay you 3 times the price. And he said, with all respect, the people here are motivated. They're here on full scholarships. Their career depends upon them graduating. I'll say some, he said many of the people at Stanford were there because mom and dad didn't know what to do with them, and they weren't motivated to learn. He wanted motivated people. He worked very hard to know his skill, and he didn't want to waste time on someone who wasn't motivated. He was determined, innovative, worked across many disciplines. The Turing Award in 1986, the IEEE created an award, the Hamming Award, I'll show you a picture of it, with his face on it. I know very few people have an award with their face on it. Yeah, many people have won that. And in 1996, the Edward Green Award in Germany. For those of you who don't know it, the Nobel is a gold medal and $1 million, underwritten by Google. The Turing Award is a gold medal and $1 million, underwritten by Google. Well, the Nobel, I'm sorry, is the Nobel Committee. Thank you, Google. Edward Green Award was $200,000 and a gold, $130,000 and a gold medal. Next slide, please. Okay. How do you get someone like Hamming? How do your relatives or students or people you're mentoring get there? Ambition, persistence, have a goal, commit yourself to excellence. Football players in the crowd? Vince Lombardi said, you should strive for excellence in everything you do. The difference between a winner and an also-ran. Hamming was motivated. Accumulation of knowledge, the development of wisdom, how to get the gift of insight, and application and patents and inventions and things named after him. He had a supporting family, a role model, particularly his grandfather, Caspar Lavater Redfield, who was an attorney, an engineer, and an inventor, and authored 75 books, some of them on the greater man theory, which was very popular in the 40s, that basically said great men are produced by education and by influence. Hamming's grandfather lived 2 miles away from his home. It's likely to conceive that they talked. He studied the life of teachers and philosophers to develop. In the book, I name and give you details of 24 people that I claim influenced Hamming. Are you ready for a shocker? Plato, Socrates, Aristotle, Copernicus, Galileo. How can I make that claim? How can I claim that Aristotle influenced? Hamming quoted Aristotle and Plato and Socrates and Copernicus and Galileo. He learned the traits of highly successful people and adapted them for his own use. Greatness comes with hard work, focused work, effective work. Next page. I'm sorry, can you click the video of Hamming live? I'm sorry, do you connect it to the internet?
I don't know if that's linked or not.
Let's see, we'll see if it does. If you can't do it, it's fine. There's a 3-minute video. I'll give you the link to it on Hamming. I didn't create it. It was used for a course. Hold it. Let's see what's coming up.
And of course, we'll have a YouTube commercial.
You'll have a small YouTube commercial. You know what? Cancel, go back. It summarizes some of the things that I'm doing. I'll pick up what we're doing. Okay. Hamming's father was from the Netherlands, a little town called Groningen, up in against the North Sea, very close to the German border. His father became an orphan at age 13. There was poverty, there was hunger, hundreds of thousands of people left. He went to South Africa to fight in the Boer War at age 17 or 18. He was wounded in battle with a saber cut from here to here and left on the field to die. He somehow survived, healed, came to America, found his way to Chicago, and met Mabel Grace Redfield, whose family traces back to the Mayflower. They raised 2 boys. Dick was the youngest. Here's with his brother and his father, Casper Lavater Redfield. What a name. They don't give out middle names like that anymore. And here's some of his influences. Next slide, please. Here's Hamming as a child, 1915. Look at the face. Upper left corner, upper right corner, lower corner. What do you see in the eyes? I see determination. I see intelligence. That's the Dick Hamming I knew. Next slide, please. City College, his 2-year degree. University of Chicago, his undergraduate in math. University of Nebraska, Illinois, rah. Dixon and Bliss and Cape, these were his professors for his master's and his doctorate. They all influenced him wildly. These were world-class mathematicians in their own right. Hamming learned from every one of them, and it affected his life. Next slide. His doctoral advisor was from Russia. His name was Vladimir Trzynski. Went to UCLA. Ultimately ended up at University of Illinois Urbana. Had a record 52 doctoral students. Hamming was number 12. His dissertation is in math. The title is not important unless you want it. Go ahead, please. Next slide. You all know a little bit about the Manhattan Project. Livermore played a part during and post with Edward Teller et al. I know this. I have a background that includes some nuclear. Hamming was, after he got his doctorate, he was teaching. First, how am I on time, please? I've lost track.
You've got about 6 minutes.
6 minutes, okay, I'll go a little faster. Hamming got recruited for the Manhattan Project in 1945 to run the computers. Well, prior to Hamming coming, there were analog computers, top middle, and mechanical Marchant calculators. Anyone ever use a Marchant calculator? Yeah. That's how you multiply and divide. How do you do square root, repeated operations? How do you calculate how to make an atomic bomb? You had a lot of physicists. You had 4, when Hamming got to Los Alamos, he worked with 4 Nobel laureates and 4 people who would later earn a Nobel. He was 31 years old. He ran the computer. These were some of the people. Next slide, please. I'm going to skip over what was the situation, who he worked with. The IBM 601 was an accounting machine adapted at Los Alamos to do complex calculations. Hamming was put in charge of running it and running very important calculations. You couldn't just, in a laboratory, do a small bit of nuclear experiment to create fission. You either had a bomb or you didn't. Hamming was one of the people to run the calculations because he had a degree in math and had good expertise. And by the way, boundary value nonlinear dynamic equations was exactly what you need if you're trying to compress uranium. He was the right person at the right time. After Trinity happened and the end of World War II with Hiroshima and Nagasaki had a terrible loss of life, but I'm of the opinion it was necessary to end the war. One man's opinion. Hamming stayed to document how it was possible with these rudimentary computers to do the math that the physicists couldn't do. And I claim he's foundational in what's called computational science, which is also called computer simulation. These days it's called digital twins. I was just at a conference in San Francisco on that yesterday. Things you can't do in the real world, today we all do it in the computer, we don't even think about it. ChatGPT, AI. My dissertation under Hamming was in machine learning, but I'm not going to talk about me. I'm here to talk about Hamming. Next slide, please. He went to Bell Labs in the summer of '46, stayed there 30 years. The younger Turks included Claude Shannon, John Tukey, Macmillan, Ling, and Hamming. They were the wild young men who did miraculous things, got published Bell Systems Technical Journal, got patents. Hamming had 3 patents, 5 books. Here's him running the computers. Here's him getting his dissertation. He helped, Hamming as a research mathematician, helped many of the scientists and engineers achieve the computations they needed to develop things like fiber optics. In the book, you'll see a dozen people that Hamming enabled and inspired. Next page, please. Coding theory, error correcting codes, iteration of math. Next slide, please. This is his wife, Wanda. Dick was tall and skinny. He was about 6'4". I don't think he was 185 pounds. I met him first in 1978 in Monterey when I was in need of an advisor to make up for an advisor that didn't think I was doing the right thing. I changed advisors. I picked wrong. Hamming came to my rescue, liked what I saw, liked what I was doing. I was doing experimental modeling, just when early computers had enough power to do experimental modeling. Now we do it on our desktops. Yes, I completed my dissertation in 1982, before the internet, before the Apple, before the IBM PC, using a mainframe computer in the VAX 11780. My work is not foundational, but it's close. Hamming's work was always foundational. This plaid jacket, you may ask why. Would someone hold up the book on the table? The cover of the book shows Hamming wearing a red tartan jacket. Now, he is from Holland and his wife is from England, and what is he wearing a Scottish tartan from? Some student asked him, Professor Hamming, why are you wearing a black watch tartan? He says, I prepared for years to give you this lecture. I want all eyes on me. He had a little bit of an ego. Next time. Turing Award, the Peoria Award, Computer Pioneering Award, the IEEE medal with his picture, the back of it, the Edward Reams Award, and the Navy Award when he retired in Monterey. Next chart, please. A couple of interesting things. By the way, copies of this the slides are here at the club if one wants to delve further and not buy my book. That's okay, I understand. I may not be back, but I understand. For all of you scientists and engineers, in science, if you know what you're doing, you shouldn't be doing it. Science is to advance knowledge. In engineering, if you don't know what you're doing, you shouldn't be doing it. Next slide, please. I'll leave out, there's 14 lessons without even me talking about them. Your eyes scan down here, it all makes sense. In the notes and in the book, what does Hamming say to be successful? 14 steps. Next slide, please. Work hard, I'm sorry, keep on going. Keep on going. Okay. He also wanted to work on important problems. He says, if I'm going to work on important problems, I need to devote time. So every Friday afternoon, he would reserve 4 hours after lunch and sit down with people and say, what are the most important problems? How could we approach it? He did that at Bell Labs. He did it at the postgraduate schools for some very fortunate students. What's the most important over the next 5 or 10? He's known for the following question. He would sit with chemists and metallurgists and engineers at Bell Labs and at lunch, and he would say, what's the most important problem in your domain? And they'd all answer. And he says, what are you working on? Then he'd say, why aren't they the same? If you're here at Livermore, or Los Alamos, or Bell Labs, or Stanford, why work on small problems? There's no glory in solving a small problem. Get part way on a large problem, and someone else picks up where you left off, and then they name the answer after you. Higgs boson. Next chart, please. It's better to do the right problem the wrong way than the wrong problem the right way. Next slide. In the book, his greatest hits, his lecture, One Man's View of Computer Science, when he won the Turing. In 1986, 10 years after leaving Bell Labs, they invited him back. He gave a speech, You and Your Research, which is required reading to this day at Bell Labs. I'm proud to announce that I've sent copies of the book to the president of Nokia Bell Labs, and I called them and said, I'd like to finish the Hamming lecture series in January at Bell Labs in the hall, named after him, Hamming Innovation Hall. The president of Nokia Bell Labs says, that's a no-brainer, you're invited. It should be the week of the 12th of January. Learning to Learn, his last book, which is magnum opus. There's on YouTube, there's lecture series. If you Google Hamming, Learning to Learn, you'll see it on YouTube, his lectures. Next chart, please. Next chart. The archive is open. I've put all of my findings in the archive. The book is done. For more information, you can find me. I have cards and books if anyone would like to take the card. And I thank you very much for your attention. If there are questions, please.
Mary Ann Rosa, I think you had a quick announcement.
Earlier in the meeting, they had the roving slide that we saw at the cake party. That was last Sunday, and it was fabulous. We had approximately 100 guests. That included the little kids, their siblings, and their parents. And we had some volunteers from our club, so I wanted to acknowledge them and thank them for being there. And that's Michaela Kleinman, Margaret Palmer, Mike Thompson, Mary Sweeney, Loretta Caskey, let's see, Courtney Michaels and Ted Michaels, Jack Mills, and Kathy Coyle, who is the master of providing lunch for everybody. And she's done it for years. And then Trucks Donovan for taking down the Christmas tree at the very end of the party. So anyway, I wanted to thank everybody. It was fabulous. We had such a great time. It really puts you in the spirit of Christmas. So thank you.
Martin is a very small token of our appreciation. I'd like to present to you this Rotary coffee mug. Ordinarily we give wine, but I don't think as you're traveling.
Yeah, I can't bring the wine back. I have a T-shirt that many of you may have something similar. It says, first coffee and then the world. That's the way I read it. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Can I speak first?
Sure.
On behalf of the Annandale, Virginia, next to Arlington, Virginia, is a little community. I'm on the board of directors. No, I'm not president. I've already done that once. My wife said, once, just once. But I'm on the board. I'm director of fundraising. As a visiting Rotarian, I wish to give you our flag.
Thank you very much. And we would like to reciprocate with our flag as well.
All right. Thank you all. I passed out cards that tell you about the book, and I have books for sale if anyone wishes. But whatever works for you.
And immediate past President Mark.
Yes. A very quick announcement. You'll remember that last meeting that President Pat said, see you after the holiday, as we closed the meeting out. And of course, you all know what holiday he was referring to, right? National Cookie Day was on the 4th. And the fact that you don't know that as Rotarians, after President Pat brought it to your attention, see you after the holiday, that means you look it up and then you celebrate it because he was ordering you. So I'm a little disappointed in the club today, but I'm sure we'll do better. And so thank you, President Pat, for bringing National Cookie Day to our attention. And I'm a little sad at what got done out there in the club, but we'll do better on that, sir. And you're going to name off the table?
Raffle ticket, raffle ticket,
Raffle ticket. Today's ticket. I see Glenn.
The ticket number is 1438994.
Can you do it again? 143.
1438994.
Do we have any takers?
They already left.
Must be present.
All right.
Is this a wrap?